How frustrating is it when you guys are sparring, training, fighting, and in the middle of your offense, you get clipped? Now, this is a super common issue, and we're going to look at one of the greatest defensive athletes of all time, Nicolino Loce, and we're going to break down his defensive game, but we're going to also look at some of the foundational elements that at first glance don't have anything to do with defense, but they're going to help keep you safe when you are setting up your work such that you don't get clipped. After that, in some of the later parts of this series, we'll get into the stuff that most everyone talks about and hopefully break it down into a little bit more detail. Before we do so, if you guys are watching the free version, you guys can check out the full version on patreon.com/boringbreakdowns. It will be linked below. Let's go ahead and jump in. First things first, let's look at how Loce establishes his jab. Now, we're going to be talking about his jab and then other parts of his offense that are inherently very conservative. And what do I mean by conservative? Look at the gut positioning of Loce in the next several segments, and you'll see that. Now, this wasn't something that he did in every single fight. There were other fights where he was able to open up a little bit more, but specifically why I want to highlight these segments is for you guys. Again, in the beginning of this study, I asked how many of you guys have gotten clipped in the middle of setting up your own offense. If you're struggling with things like that, gut positioning is very important and kind of keeping the integrity of your gut. So, for example, if you are southpaw, keeping your left shoulder in the back. If you're orthodox, keeping your right shoulder in the back. Now, while we're talking about all that, we're going to discuss the jab. So let's look at, check out Loce's jab, and we'll see that the jab is going to be a big part of his game, not just for establishing range, but for setting up his left body shot. So let's check this out right here. So the first segment, we're going to look at Loce establishing the range. So he's going to throw this jab, and then the two athletes separate. Now, pay attention to his lead arm. We're going to see Loce feint the jab a couple times, and look at what this does to the opponent, Fuji. It's going to bring up that high guard here, but Loce doesn't fire, and we see Fuji retreat. Now from here, he's going to step in, throw that jab again, and then continue moving off to his left. So this type of establishment of that jab is going to set up the Great Wall and between the two athletes, letting Fuji know, don't come past this line. And when you are able to establish that distance with the jab, it's going to give you more time, more margin for error when shots are coming at you. So again, let's check this out one more time. We're going to see Loce throw the jab, and then the two athletes are going to create a little bit more distance. Then we're going to see a multiple jab feints pumping that left arm, and that's going to get Loce to retreat. Fuji to retreat, and then stiff jab, and then moving off towards the left. Let's check out some other sequences. So this is going to be picking up right where we left off from this second jab. Now, pay attention to Fuji's right arm. So Fuji is going to lift that arm, assuming he's lifting it in order to defend that jab, but it's going to get through. Now, from here, look how Loce is going to set up this body shot. He's going to show a straight line attack, but as he does so, he is stepping in with this lead leg, and because he showed that straight line attack, and he had already preconditioned Fuji for these jabs and the jab feints, look at Fuji's positioning. Look at his stance right here. The high guard is up, and the gut is wide open, and then Loce is going to look to fire underneath it. So let's check it out one more time. We're going to see that stiff jab, and Fuji's right arm is going to lift up. And from here, he's going to then show that jab, pull the head of the high guard up. The gut is now exposed. He steps in and then throws that left body shot. Now, this is not purely an offensive study. Why am I sharing these specific segments? Notice how a lot of what we're seeing here is all work off of the lead side. So if Loce is able to do all of this, condition his opponent to get this high guard up, all from the lead arm, what does that mean? Remember earlier we were talking about being very conservative? Loce is able to get all this work off by keeping his right shoulder behind him and staying behind that lead shoulder. So he doesn't have to open up that much, and he can still exploit openings on Fuji. So if you're going to have conservative offense, it's important that you still stay switching things up so that you never get allow your opponent to get hip to what you're trying to do. And here we're going to see Loce switch stuff up. Even though he's still using his jab to set up his work, it's not like it's crazy highlight worthy stuff, but we're going to look a little bit closer and look what he does with his jab right here. This is good work right here in terms of forcing the opponent to get hip to new things. So Loce is going to throw this jab, but now pay attention where the jab is aimed for. It's at the top of the opponent's head, like right at the opponent's hairline. Now, what is this again doing? If the opponent wants to defend the jab, the arms have to elevate here in order to address it. Now, we're going to see one more of the exact same thing. We're going to see Loche is going to throw that jab to the top of the opponent's head. And again, look at the opponent's glove here. It's forced to lift up in order to address it. Now, why does Loche do that? Because now the opponent understands I have to be elevating my gloves a little bit higher than if the jab was coming from my jawline, where it would go in between my guard. It's actually going above my guard. So he is conditioned to shots going above his guard. He's going to lift up, and now Loche is going to throw that shot to the body. Now, another detail that is so helpful when you're being conservative, notice because he threw this shot to the body, he was still able to maintain his weight distribution such that when the opponent throws this counter left hook, he's still able to pull away. So guys, switching up your targets, keeping things spicy even though you're being conservative with your offense. These are a couple of the details that'll help build a foundation for being defensive, especially as you guys are first starting out. Guys, thank you all so much. If you have any questions, please feel free to comment them below. If you are watching the free version, the full version is available on patreon.com/boringbreakdowns. I will link it below. And if you guys, again, available to the members, you guys are also going to be able to check out all of the other long form content. It is specifically designed for coaches, for athletes to be able to implement this stuff quickly into your game so you can start putting it in next time you go to train at the gym. Guys, thank you all so much again. I will catch you on the next one. Peace.